Hi, my name's Jessica and I'm here for the Baby and Toddler Show online, and with me today I've got Salman from Baby Planet, and the Baby Planet is one of our retail partners. So, hello.
Hi, nice to be here again.
I know, it's great, isn't it?
It is, no, definitely.
It's a bit different, isn't it, rather than being on the actual show?
Yeah, no, it's and we're keeping the 2 metre gap, so it's sort of all a bit different this time.
I know. Now, one thing which really used to baffle me, when I used to look for a pram, people would talk about travel systems, and I was like, I don't know what on earth a travel system is. So what is a travel system?
So a travel system is essentially a 3-in-1, which gives you sort of the full term items that you need. So you have your carry cot, which will generally take you from 0 to 6 months.
And what's the function of the carry cot?
So the carry cot is somewhere to keep the child whilst they fall asleep. Some carry cots, well, a lot of carry cots now are suitable for overnight sleeping.
Okay.
So they essentially double up as a Moses basket if you're going away for the weekend, or you're taking the little one out for a walk and they fall asleep. You can bring them back in the house and leave them sort of on the ground sleeping. You're not worried about having to take them out.
Yeah.
The carry cot's the lie flat bit. Now, looking into it, lie flat's very important. You're not keeping the child scrunched up. It allows them to breathe better, allows the oxygen to flow around their body. So the carry cot's what you use for the first 6 months. And from there, you'll go into a seat unit. Depending on brand, the seat unit will last you from anywhere between 6 months to 3 to 4 years.
Okay.
Usually it goes on weight, so it can be anywhere between 15 and 22 kgs that the seat unit can be used.
So it's about to age 4, isn't it? Yeah.
Roughly, yes, yeah. And then the third bit that you get included in a travel system is the car seat.
Okay.
The car seat will take you from birth to roughly 12 to 15 months.
Okay,
Again, depending on the legislation of the car seat. An eye-size car seat will generally last you 15 months or to the child's 75 centimetres in height.
Okay.
And a non-eye-size car seat will last you roughly between 9 and 12 months.
And what, for anyone who doesn't know what eye size is, what is the difference?
So eye-size is a higher level of testing. It's tested on front, rear and side impact.
Okay.
It offers you a lot more protection, and it's been tested more rigorously in crash testing.
So if a parent was really safety conscious, that's the legislation that they'd be looking out for?
Yes,
eye size.
yeah.
Okay, that's really interesting. See, again, everything's changed.
It has, yes.
And this is only in a short space of 2 years for me. Okay, so again, if I was a new parent coming to you, what would you recommend that I need out of the travel system?
So in terms of recommendation, a pushchair is like a shoe. It's not one size fits all. So it all depends on your lifestyle. If you came to me and said you live in London City and you travel by tube to most places, we'd recommend something that's smaller, lightweight.
Okay.
You wouldn't essentially need something with a bulkier, bigger chassis. You need something that can fold down quickly, maybe a one-handed fold, and we'd go from there. So we'd look at your way of living.
Okay. What would you say are the 3 most important things?
So a pram for a newborn, I'd say either you need a lie flat carry cot or a lie flat seat unit.
Okay. And what's the difference between because I know with some travel systems, they offer a flat seat which can be from newborn.
Yes.
But what is the main difference?
So the main difference between a lie flat seat and a lie flat carry cot is essentially in a lie flat carry cot, you can keep the child in there for unlimited time and you can keep them in there overnight if it's been passed.
Yeah.
A lie flat seat unit is whilst they're on the chassis.
Okay.
So essentially once you're finished with the pushchair, you can't take them in the house, leave them in the seat. You'd have to take them out and maybe put them in a Moses basket, so to speak.
And why is that then?
One, there's no legs on a seat unit, so you won't be able to stand it safely.
Yeah.
Whereas a carry cot does have legs to allow you to keep it there. A seat can tip over, so that it's not recommended to leave your child in there when it's not on the chassis.
Okay. And then also with a carry cot, you just literally place your child in there. There's obviously no seatbelt or anything to fasten them in. Whereas usually with a seat, you would have the seatbelt. So with the lie flat seats that can also be used essentially from newborn. What happens to the seatbelt area?
So you'd still be using your harness, as there's no sort
harness.
of as there's no sides to protect the child from rolling out, etc. The harnesses will be used to keep the child in place.
Perfect, and that's from newborn as well.
That is from newborn.
Amazing. Okay then. So for new-time parents, what would you recommend, or what do they need for the first 6 months of having a baby?
So personally, again, it all comes down to lifestyle. So if you're live more in the suburbs, a carry cot is ideal. You have a lot more space for it. But if you are in the city and you're space conscious, you can use a seat unit and a car seat from birth. So it's, again, all dependent on your lifestyle.
I've got quite a large family. My little boy's 2 now. So when the baby's born, he's going to be, 2.5. What travel systems would you recommend for somebody who has got a large family?
One, you do have a choice of going for something with a built-in buggy board. So if you've got a 2.5-year-old that gets that little bit lazy, gets a bit tired, and they want to be sort of essentially part of the journey, you can get ones with built-in buggy boards where they can stand on whilst you're pushing the pushchair with your newborn in there as well. Or you can go for ones where you can turn a single pushchair into a double whenever you need it to. So that's usually a tandem one on top of the other. So again, if the little, the 2.5-year-old gets a bit lazy, you can get a seat unit where you can put them in there, but still have a newborn in a carry cot as well. So that allows a pushchair to sort of grow with your family as and when you need it to.
And then again, just touching upon if you were about to expand your family, what would you recommend? If you already had a pram, would you recommend getting a different travel system? Would you recommend getting a buggy board? What would you suggest to someone who is having another baby?
So first thing I'd ideally check is if your pram is adaptable to turn into a double. Some prams, people buy them and they are single pushchairs, but you can adapt it. So you can add another seat unit on, or you can use the seat unit that you've already got and add another carry cot on. So first thing I'd always check is it adaptable to turn into a double? If it's not, maybe the next thing to look at is the age difference between the toddler and the newborn. Is the toddler old enough to sort of be able to sit on a buggy board? If they're not, then the next stage is to then go out and buy a pushchair that you can turn into a double. But later on, once your toddler's grown out of it, essentially turn back into a single, so you're not without a pushchair and having to go buy one again.
So I wish we'd have had this conversation 8 years ago. And then I think what might be quite interesting from a different perspective, when you have parents or new-time parents coming into the stores, what sort of questions do they ask you?
So generally the first question we get asked is, we've never looked at pushchairs. Can you explain the differences, or what's the travel system? That's the first question. And then after that, it's sort of what will suit my lifestyle? What will suit what I do on a day-to-day basis? And I think we touched upon this, is pram with big wheels won't suit someone who lives the fast city life. So generally that's what we get asked. Then the third thing is boot space in a car. If you need to put your pram in the boot and you have a small boot, generally a big pram might not fit in there. So we might need to find something that's sort of better for your lifestyle, something with smaller wheels that can fit in a small boot.
And then also, when you have parents coming in, what tends to be their three musts? So is it style, is it safety, is it lifestyle?
I think the first one is always the way it looks. I think that's the most important thing. If you don't like it within 6 months... You don't like admitting that as a parent. The first thing is definitely safety, but really it's like, if I've got another pram, I think if it looks nice, that's the most important thing. That's what parents generally look for. Then it's the size of the pushchair. And then I think third comes how practical it is.
Do you know what? No parent will openly admit that,
but
you're
it is
so right. Again, that's the mistake I made with my last baby. I was like, the look of this pram is fantastic. Practicality, horrific. I actually took it for a walk and got stuck in this garden path thing. It was horrific. And then also, so with Baby Planner having 4 independent stores, which is absolutely fantastic, you'll get a completely different mix of people, different range of people. Do you have something that would fit everybody's budget? And how important is that to people, actually?
I generally think at Baby Planet we do have something suitable for everybody. From the lowest budget to the highest, from the smallest folding to something that's more traditional. So I do think we cover every aspect, and we cover every price range as well.
Which also leads me on to, with the Baby and Toddler show being online this weekend, I believe you've got some absolutely amazing offers.
Yes. So we have special offers this weekend, and for this weekend only. We guarantee to have the best prices in the industry for this weekend. So
that's a guarantee. You can pinky promise on that.
I can pinky promise on that.
Oh my gosh! So literally, you'll have the best prices on pram this weekend.
Yes, and if you do find a price better anywhere, let us know, and we'll do our best, if not just to price match it, but to beat it as well.
I'm blown away. I'm gobsmacked. That's amazing. Well, it's been absolutely fantastic having you here, Salman.
No, it's been a pleasure.
And actually, I think I might pop online this weekend, as long as you can guarantee it. Thank you very much.
No, thank you.